being the main event at WrestleMania and creating history and being across with Sasha Banks, becoming SmackDown Women's Champion at the main event, it's more than I could have ever dreamed of.
Hey there, everyone. Rick Ucchino here again with Sportskeeda Wrestling, and I have the absolute pleasure today of chatting with the woman who won the main event of WrestleMania Night 1 last night here in Tampa, Florida. She and Sasha Banks just absolutely tore it down last night. When it was all said and done, Bianca Belair walked away the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Bianca, thank you for taking some time to talk to me, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. This is, again, an absolute pleasure. I mean, let's talk about this now. Not even a day later. Has it hit you yet? You know, I saw the video of you last night saying, like, this is a dream over and over and over again. Does it feel real yet?
It's getting there. I woke up this morning and I had to figure out where I was and what I was doing. Because it definitely kind of feels like a dream. Because it's just something that, this is a dream that I didn't know was a dream until it became a reality. And it's, being the main event at WrestleMania and creating history and being across with Sasha Banks, becoming SmackDown Women's Champion at the main event, it's more than I could have ever dreamed of.
And there was, so much going on last night. First show with fans in 13 months. Your first WrestleMania singles match in the main event against Sasha Banks. First time two black women squared off in the main event of WrestleMania. We could see the emotion in your eyes when that bell rang and the fans started going nuts for you two. What was going through your head in that moment as you were visibly fighting back those tears last night?
I was just overcome with all types of emotion. Just the fact that we were at WrestleMania. It was the main event. we were the main event of WrestleMania, and we were creating history. When I looked across at Sasha Banks, I couldn't help but smile. I know that we were both, fighting for a title, but it was, I say this all the time, this moment, it was more than just about me. It was more than just about Sasha. It was more than just about us. And actually getting there and finally being in that moment, we got to the arena, the stadium, around 1 o'clock. So then we were there for hours, and anticipation was building and building. And we just couldn't wait to get in that moment. So to finally be in that moment and just stand in that moment and be able to hear the fans, we haven't had fans for over a year, to be able to finally hear the fans and hear them chanting EST and boss, it was just an amazing feeling. I was just overcome with emotion. It was overwhelming.
Now, I say this with no hyperbole whatsoever. With all the pressure on you guys for this moment last night, you two absolutely crushed it. An incredible match. One of the top 5 WrestleMania main events, easily, in my opinion. Now, I'm not just blowing smoke either. I mean, when it was all said and done and the 3 count hit, you could see the pure joy in your face, but also we got a glimpse of Sasha after the match as well, and she looked incredibly proud and happy in that moment. Couldn't hold back the emotions even in defeat. When you two got backstage, did you two run into one another? Did you say anything to one another as two world-class performers? What was that like?
No, it's definitely a level of respect there. I've been watching Sasha Banks since I was in NXT, and I remember thinking, she was here in NXT at one point in time. At that time, she was on, the 4 Horsemen were on Raw and SmackDown and doing amazing things at WrestleMania. And I remember just thinking, when I can finally have a match with Sasha Banks, that's when I know that I'm there. So there's, I've always had this amazing respect for Sasha, and someone coming in and coming from the PC and the Performance Center and grinding, and I feel like she has that same respect for me. And so there's always a level of mutual respect across, from just 2 amazing competitors. So it's still always going to be a rivalry there, because I now have the SmackDown Women's Championship. But, the amazing thing about Sasha is that she elevates anybody that she comes in contact with. So she definitely elevated me last night, and I am forever grateful to her for that. But we're still going to be fighting it out, because I have something that she wants now.
Did you at least get to apologize for that vicious hair whip? Because my goodness, that thing sent shockwaves across the entire state of Florida.
Oh man, well, listen, I feel like I shouldn't have to apologize for he pulled my hair and used my hair so many times in the match. So I haven't used it in a while because I'm like, as long as nobody touches it, nobody tries to use it against me, I won't use it. But in that moment, I had to pull, in order to take Sasha Banks down, I was going to have to pull out all of my ESTs. I was going to have to be the strongest, the fastest, the roughest, the toughest, the quickest, the greatest, the best, and use all of anything that I had. I was going to have to give to Sasha Banks. So at the very end, I used the hair whip because that was all I had left, and it worked.
Do you think that was the hardest one you've ever hit?
I think so. Because even when I threw it, when it made the noise, I was like, "Whoa, that was really loud."
And you could see the welt like almost immediately on Sasha's side. It was like you just had to feel for it in that moment. But man, that was good. That was great stuff. Now, I did hear on the bump earlier about the backstage reaction for you, and obviously we saw how proud and excited Montez was for sure, and your parents and your dad looked like he wanted to jump the barricade, and just being in that moment and getting to share it with all the people closest to you. I mean, what was that like? What did that mean to you?
That's what this is. That's what this is all about. Winning the title is amazing. But when you have an amazing support system like I have with my husband and my family and my mom and my dad, my brother was there, my nieces, my nephews, my stepkids were there, my mother-in-law was my family was there. Having them there and be a part of that moment, and being a part of that moment is what this is all about. This is already a very special WrestleMania, and it just feels like a huge victory lap because they are usually at every single big moment I have, and they haven't been able to be there in over a year. And so to finally have them there, and then I'm able to actually win a title in front of them and turn around. I heard the crowd going crazy, and then I turned around and my husband was fighting in the ring. And so to be able to share that moment with him in the ring, and also, he didn't get to have his WrestleMania match this year, so I was so happy that he got to be in the ring at some point in time, but also be in the ring with me, and then being able to jump in the audience with my family. That was like one of my favorite parts of the whole entire match.
I'm curious if you've had a chance to talk to Mark Henry at all, because this was a guy who saw something in you 5 years ago, helped you get a tryout, and today you're the SmackDown Women's Champion. Have you had an opportunity to speak with him yet?
I have not yet. But the thing about WrestleMania is a busy weekend. I've also, when I got back to my phone, I had like over 100 text messages, and him being a WWE superstar and a Hall of Famer, he knows how crazy WrestleMania can be. So I'm pretty sure he knows, like, he's just waiting till everything dies down, and I'm definitely going to hear from him.
5 years in WWE, I believe, like almost to the day, I believe, and this is your first singles championship, which is hard to believe, but you came so close in NXT so many times, but it never happened. However, winning your first championship the way that you did the long wait help amplify last night and make that moment even bigger?
It definitely helps amplify the moment. In the process of it all, I was going after the NXT title. I'm trying to get, and I was never able to get it. And of course, it gets frustrating, but it's just an amazing feeling when all the pieces finally fall into place. And when I got the title last night, I remember looking at it and saying, now everything makes sense. It all makes sense now. And it makes it just mean so much more. And it just makes it an even bigger moment. So, sometimes you stress over things, but eventually everything falls into place. And when it does, it's bigger than you could ever imagine.
And there were a lot of obstacles last night. Obviously, a crazy night with the weather, and we're hoping everything is good for night 2 tonight. Ended up having a 40-minute delay or so. So how much did that alter your preparation for the match? Because there were a lot of variables there. We saw some performers slip. What if it starts raining during the match? I mean, did that play much on your mind at all when you were out there?
Yeah. So I know that some of the performers were having some issues with the rain, and the only time I thought about it was when we were actually out on the floor. But it's WrestleMania, and you have to go all out, and the rain delay, it caused some issues, but we all had faith that we were going to make it through. It's already been a tough year,
right?
And we're like, it's like, of course it would rain. It's already been tough. So we're used to this by now, but we're going to get through it just like we got through COVID, and we're here. And we had 25,000 fans there, and we're like, the rain is not going to stop the show. And we're going to get it. We're going to get it. But the only thing for me is it just added to anticipation. I was so anxious. I just wanted to get there and be in the moment. And so when the rain delay happened, I knew the show was going to go on, but I'm like, oh, now I have to wait even longer to create history and get in the ring with Sasha Banks.
Well, and maybe you guys, I'm sure, are going to square off again. You are the SmackDown Women's Champion now. I know there's unfinished business there, and you got a target on your back now. You know that. There's going to be a lot of women coming for you. I'm sure Bayley's going to be in the mix as well. I'm looking forward to all that. Again, congratulations. Thank you so much for taking some time to talk with me.
Thank you so much.